Tomorrow night, the superstars of Monday Night Raw and one superstar on loan from SmackDown Live will take part in one of the most exciting nights of the year. With just 1 month to go until Survivor Series, the superstars of Monday Night Raw will present what has generally been one of the most anticipated pay-per-views of the year in WWE TLC. Tables and ladders and chairs. Oh my. Hello, friends, and welcome to this very special edition of Ridiculously Raw. I am your ridiculously over good brother, Anthony Floyer, here with you for our 2017 WWE TLC preview show. Oh boy, what a night. What a Saturday night. Unreal night, to say the very least. And what a way to cap it off and climax it right here. Then with myself and Girl MF Michael Fletcher, the Phenom Michael Bullock not joining us this evening. Very special event. The Special Olympics Benefast event this evening. So that's going on right now. So I just got a message here. Hold on a moment. Okay. Oh, just give me a minute. Okay. All right, hold on a minute. All right. Just got a message from Dee Woodson. We're gonna get her in here just a moment. So bear with me as I try to get her in here. So yes, indeed, what a night indeed, and of course a big event coming up. So okay, there she is. Okay, I just want to make sure I had the right information. So okay. Going into this event, I honestly thought this was going to be maybe the worst Raw pay-per-view of the year. That was until not one, but two huge breaking news stories came out yesterday and reported by our own Derek Ferreira. And man alive, what else is there to say? And Dee Woodson has just joined us, so just getting started here. So yep. So what a night this is going to be. This is going to be a great show here. We started off with, well, I'll let you know, there is a kickoff show match. Sasha Banks squaring off against Alicia Fox. We're not going to get into that because, you know, we only do kickoff shows for major events as well as if there's a championship match. That's the only way we'll get into a kickoff show. So neither of them apply here. So we're just going to skip and we're going to start it off with the first match of our preview here. The first of two cruiserweight matches on this show. This is a cruiserweight tag team match. Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann to team up against D. Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher. Though I would normally assume this would be the buffer match between the final two bouts on the card, I can't even single out a double main event match for TLC, so I don't know where this goes, and I see no reason for it to be on this pay-per-view at all. That said, while I think Alexander would be a great cruiserweight champion one day if he can figure out how to get over on the mic, it would be more impactful for the heels to take this one. Gallagher's heel turn and the mentorship he has received from Kendrick is a story that has been told well over the past 2 months on 205 Live, but the feud with Alexander, who still has main event potential from an in-ring perspective, but not on the microphone, simply hasn't resonated. Neither does the idea of this forced tag team match. I'm going with the heel team. I'm going to go with D. Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher to win this match. So really nothing left for me to say. MF, come on in. Let's get your thoughts on this cruiserweight tag team matchup. Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann against D. Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher.
You know, this has been slowly built. I know they definitely kind of try to emphasize it a little bit on last week's Monday Night Raw, which was a very good I thought they did a decent job handling it. I'm not going to say it was overly amazing, but at the end of the day, you got to handle what you got to handle. You got to do what you got to do. And at the end of the day, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, Anthony. I'm not going to speak too much about this match because there are other matches that is more intriguing, including one that I really want to get my hands on, and we'll get that in a little bit. But I'll go with you on this one. I'll give it to D. Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher to win this match. Of course, Didi Woodson does not cover a cruiserweight fight, so let's just move on to the next fight of the night.
And it's our other cruiserweight match, MF. Keep your mic on because you'll be leading off on this one. Return match for the Cruiserweight Championship. Kalisto defending the title against Enzo Amore. MF, you remember a few weeks ago on Raw, they actually gave us this match on free television. And not only did it surprise the heck out of us, we thought it was going to be another cluster bleep match, but it ended up delivering. It stole the show, and Kalisto stole the title from Enzo Amore. So does the Lucha run continue, or does the realest guy in the room get his title back?
Well, I think what really happened was it was more of a last-minute switch. As many of you guys, we were kind of in the dark about why the belt change happened, but now we later found out is because Neville walked out on WWE. Neville left the company. He was supposed to have fought Enzo Amore that night on Monday Night Raw and was supposed to lose to Enzo. And Neville took his ball and went home. Walked out on WWE, according to multiple reports, including Derek Ferrero also confirming this. And basically, that's why we lost what we lost. Adrian Neville decides to leave WWE, so this was a plan B option, basically on the fly. And the next thing we know, Kalisto, from going back to his old lucha days, wins the belt. Selena del Sol wins it, but as you could tell, they actually did a beatdown angle. Enzo had some guys with him, some guys who actually are sympathizers of Enzo Amore, and that actually proved to be the difference. And now I could see a storyline where Enzo gets the belt back, and maybe a future storyline with him and Mustafa Ali down the line. I mean, that could definitely be something. I mean, I'm sorry, Anthony. Well, the way I feel about it, I think Enzo's going to steal the belt right back. He's going to probably do some cheating tactics to win the belt. I don't think this is going to be a clean victory, but I got Enzo Amore winning the Cruiserweight title back. Winner and new WWE Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Enzo Amore. Anthony, it is all yours.
I agree, MF. I've got Enzo winning the belt as well. If backstage rumors are true, Kalisto winning the title was a last-minute decision on Raw 2 weeks ago and a direct result of a frustrated Adrian Neville walking off set in real life and never returning. He basically pulled a CM Punk, if you will. Considering how much Amore has done to bring much-needed buzz to the Cruiserweight division, Kalisto's reign feels overwhelmingly temporary. It's hard to argue. It's hard to argue with those points. I mean, Amore has made the Cruiserweight division feel legitimate, and while Kalisto is a fantastic addition, he does not have the innate microphone ability to carry the strap. I could see Kalisto keeping the title for another couple weeks, but it makes more sense for Amore to take it back and be a two-time champion who now has the ability to brag even more about its accomplishments. So I agree with you, MF. I've got Enzo Amore regaining the Cruiserweight Championship tomorrow night at the Target Center in Minneapolis. So nothing more to say. We're just going to move on. And now we're going to get into the first of our two women's matches on the card. And don't worry, Didi Woodson, you're going to get your chance. And it's only fitting that the first of those two are going to come up right here. And we're going to start it off with you, my friend. And I know you've got a major vested interest in this one, Didi Woodson. This is for the Raw Women's Championship. Champion Alexa Bliss defending the title against Mickie James. Didi Woodson, it's no secret you're not the biggest fan of Alexa Bliss, and I know you love I know you love that new name that Mickey James gave her, the old biscuit butt, and I know that you want to see her get her biscuit butt whooped. So the question is, does the reign of Little Miss Bliss continue, or does Wiley Veteran become a lucky 7-time women's champion?
Oh, I'd love to see Biscuit Butt get her little butt in the oven and get roasted. I guarantee you on that one. As far as whether Mickey pulls it off or not, after her winning on Raw, if you go by, the what seems to be the unspoken rules, it would be Bliss that would be coming out on top, unfortunately. But either way, I would not be upset to see Mickey James win, and we all know why on that one. But I'm going to go ahead and say that Bliss is going to pull it off just because of the fact that Mickey did win on the last Raw, and usually if you win, on the go-home show, you don't usually win on the pay-per-view. So not much more I have to say about it, so I'll toss it back to you.
I hate to disappoint you, Didi Woodson, but I got Alexa Bliss winning this as well. This feels like a send-off after a nice return run for Mickey James, who fit in well with the Raw Women's division, but has no legitimate reason in kayfabe to be deserving of a title shot. Bliss has been a solid champion and done terrific work on the mic, but she needs to drop the championship sooner than later, though it will not be to James. I'm expecting a nice clean win for Bliss as James rides off into the sunset following a match that I think could over-deliver. While James has overachieved at times in the build-up to this championship feud, it's difficult to get past the fact that her character is incredibly far from deserving of the opportunity. Ask yourself this question: where the heck has Nia Jax been the past few weeks? James' final promo on Monday, which talked up her age and how excited she is to return home to her 3-year-old son Donovan, teased the idea that this could be her final full-time feud. But as the great band Asia once famously sang 35 years ago, only time will tell. So, nothing more to say on this. I think it's gonna be a solid match. I think it could deliver, but we'll find out soon enough. But nonetheless, winner and still the Raw Women's Champion, much to the chagrin of Didi Woodson, it's Alexa Bliss, Little Miss Bliss, the 5 Feet of Fury, at the very event where she won the title last year when she knocked off Becky Lynch in that tables match over on SmackDown Live. So, all right, MF. Of course, it's well documented. You've been a humongous fan and a huge supporter of Mickey James, not just for her beauty, but for her in-ring ability as well. And I know,
and I'm starting to get a liking for Little Miss Bliss and her wrestling ability as well.
Sure.
I mean, she has become the rising star of the WWE. She is the face of the Raw Women's division right now. And, debatable or not, she's actually worthy of that word that Didi Woodson hates to hear. And I won't say it out of respect, but she is deserving of it. Of that moniker that Corey Graves dubbed her at first, and she has delivered time in and time out. Now I know a lot of the times it's always by cheating and whatnot, and sometimes you don't want to see that with your champions. But when you're a heel, sometimes it's that legendary Jesse the Body Ventura moniker: win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat. Or like the late great Eddie Guerrero that used to lie, cheat, and steal his way to victories, titles, and a whole bunch of other stuff. When you got the markability, and that's what it is, she's marketable as a great champion because she's got the talent, she's got the look of a champion, and the thing is she's a little bit of an underdog too, only at 5 feet, and she's very young. So she's got a lot of years ahead of her, and she hasn't even reached her full potential yet. Right now, Little Miss Bliss, Alexa Bliss, we might be talking about her maybe 10 years down the line, maybe talking about her in possibly. Now, I might get a little bit of a disagreement with Dee Dee Woodson here, but we could be talking about her in the same breath of a Trish Stratus, of a Lita, 10, 15 years down the line, if she continues on the path that she's at. For Mickie James, without a doubt, one of the most recognizable figures in professional wrestling. But not only did it in WWE, but she's done it in TNA. She's done it in Ring of Honor. And she used to even do it in the old school ECW as Alexis Larry when she first started. Now, ECW was really at the tail end of their run. Like, this was before they folded. But TNA had her right at the very beginning. Back in the days of the Asylum, they had her. She was also in Ring of Honor for a little bit. And then made the jump to WWE, the infamous moment where she was that overassessed fan with Trish Stratus that led up to the fight at WrestleMania 22 in Chicago. That was the ultimate coming out party for her. And what solidified me to have, and Anthony knows this, that I kind of started digging the crazy chick of Mickie James.
Yep. WrestleMania 22 and that. I mean,
that's where it all started.
Yep, I had you over I remember it very well. I had you over my house that night. We saw WrestleMania 22, and that was one of the matches on that card that you and I had the most vested interest in. I mean, you know me and my love affair for Trish Stratus, and of course your love affair for Mickie James, and I'll never forget how I'll never forget it. I mean, that was one of the great. That to me was the second greatest women's match in WrestleMania history. Of course, we all know what the greatest is now, 32. But
yeah,
go on.
But at the end of the day, she's done so much for the business, and you know, a lot of the times you get these moments where maybe people ride off into the sunset as champions. You know, Trish Stratus had the moment. Lita, not so much. They did her wrong. They did her dirty on her way out of the door. But then again, you know, there was a lot of negativity that was leading towards Lita, and you know, with some stuff behind the scenes that kind of was not so nice, not so brilliant. WWE can go two ways with this. They could give Mickie James a great match, but at the end, Alexa wins. You know, have Mickie go out strong and don't bury her. And I don't think she's going to get buried. This could be a really good title fight. Or you do have Mickie go over, win the title, and then maybe the next night, automatic rematch, and then Alexis gets the belt back. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm going to go with you, Anthony. I think Alexa will win the match, successfully defend the title. I think the next women's fight, and we'll get into that in just a heartbeat, but I think that match is going to be very interesting, and she might be the next in line for the title, but we'll get into that in just a moment. So, Anthony, you can go ahead. It's all yours.
Well, actually, we're going to get into it right now because that's the next match on our docket here. It is the other women's match on this card. The Monday Night Raw WWE main roster debut of the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. And she's going to square off against Emma. Considering Asuka left NXT with a perfect record and will be making her first main roster appearance of any kind at TLC, you can all but guarantee a loss for Emma. That doesn't rob from the intrigue, however, as NXT did a tremendous job in keeping her special with how they booked such a special talent. Here's to hoping Monday Night Raw will do the same thing. Asuka's dominant run in NXT should continue with her main roster debut tomorrow night. While Emma should not be squashed here, these two actually had a tremendous match together back in NXT. she should lose rather quickly and put over Asuka's dominance. In other words, Asuka should be built stronger here than Shinsuke Nakamura was in his debut against Dolph Ziggler at Backlash back in May in Chicago. But here's to Asuka winning tomorrow and not losing until, and I'm going to go on the record for this, she takes the Raw Women's Championship in January at the Royal Rumble. Book it. Asuka wins. Nothing left to say. MF, we got another one of your favorite ladies here. I mean, not just Mickie James for you, but Emma. It's well documented you're a huge fan of Emma. Again, not just for her beauty, but for her in-ring ability as well. And these two had a great match in NXT. I don't see any reason why they can't have another just as good match here tomorrow.
Well, I don't know if we're going to get a better fight this time around, even though Emma has definitely developed into a very good talent. But, I mean, you're going against a killer. I'm saying it. Asuka is a killer. If you have not seen what she can do in NXT, or what she has done in NXT, ladies and gentlemen, get ready. You are in for a treat. There's nothing more to say about that. For me, I gotta say, I think Asuka will win this easily. I don't think it's gonna be. They're gonna give her a decent amount of time, but if you're thinking this is gonna be a long fight, it's not. 7 minutes at least, but you're gonna see the full arsenal of the Empress of Tomorrow, and you're gonna see why she was not only undefeated, but the longest running NXT champion in the history of the women's division. Get ready, folks. Asuka's coming, and Emma, it's gonna be a long night, my dear. You're gonna need quite a few ice packs after this fight is over. Didi, what's in this? All yours.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to clarify. I did have Bliss winning, but I said I wouldn't be upset if James won. So you guys kept saying that I had James on winning on that one. I don't. So I want to clarify that.
For this, duly noted.
As for this match, I agree. I think Asuka's going to win. As far as the length, one site that I was reading when I was looking up the matches thinks that Asuka's going to win in about a minute. I think it could possibly go a little bit longer. You know, Emma will probably get at least a little bit of a comeback, but definitely Asuka's going to definitely come out on the end and be the winner on the end of that. So, and then hopefully by the next pay-per-view, we'll have Asuka versus probably Bliss, since that's more likely what's going to happen. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night. So, Florio, it's yours.
Okay. It's time for our huge double main event here. This next match was originally scheduled to be the Demon, Finn Balor, versus Bray Wyatt as Sister Abigail. However, due to a viral infection that has affected the WWE locker room, Bray Wyatt has been pulled off the pay-per-view. Now, Finn Balor will compete, but he's not going to be competing against another superstar from Monday Night Raw. No. He's going to be competing against quite possibly the crown jewel of SmackDown Live. Who says we have to wait a month for a Raw versus SmackDown match? We're getting one tomorrow night. Are you guys ready for this? It's going to be Finn Balor, but it's not against Bray Wyatt. It's going to be against the crown jewel of SmackDown Live, the one and only phenomenal AJ Styles. Bullet Club tie-ins. Get your Bullet Club tie-ins out of the way right away. That's all I can say on that. So, it's only fitting that good old MF Michael Fletcher gets to start this off. Now, MF, when it comes to this match, we already know this is going to be the show stealer right here.
Oh, yeah.
But one other thing, MF, before I give it to you, I want full hype man on this. This is your match right here.
Okay.
Raw versus SmackDown, my man. Raw versus SmackDown.
It's not only Raw versus... No, hold on. This is not Raw versus SmackDown. No. This is a big ol' FU to the Bullet Club. What this is WWE sticking the dagger into the Bullet Club, namely Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, and especially to Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. This is WWE kayfabing the Bullet Club and sticking the biggest middle finger at all men, because of the fact that for the last few weeks, the Bullet Club has made it personal with WWE. What has happened was the Young Bucks did a D-Generation X move and invaded Monday Night Raw into the outside of the building and really rattled the cage of Vince McMahon. So, and not only that, but during that little charade, one of their own employees, Jimmy Jacobs, who was actually an agent for WWE, got fired because of this, because he took a photo with the Bullet Club, outside of one of the arenas. And Jimmy Jacobs got fired from WWE. So for the longest time, even on Twitter, there's been this back and forth about the Revival, and they've been going at it with members of the Bullet Club. So much so that Cody Rhodes, the Ring of Honor World Champion, actually basically dissed Roman on Ring of Honor's pay-per-view, saying that no wonder you're wearing the shield and that vest. It covers your steroids failure drug test. Burn on so many fronts. What do we do? After all this stuff about the viral infection, a viral meningitis, now, according to some dirt sheets, the only reason why that Bray Wyatt is off the card, it's not because he's got it. It's they're protecting him because Bo Dallas has the viral meningitis. And they are protecting him because I guess Bray Wyatt is a roommate of it. They normally drive together. They do the ride along together. And not only was he not involved, but that's why we haven't seen JoJo either lately on Monday Night Raw, because she's normally the ring announcer. But according to some published reports, both Bray Wyatt and JoJo has been put on quarantine, and that's why they're not available. So, what does WWE do? What does Vince McMahon do? And Kevin Dunn does? They actually give us a WrestleMania match of AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. I mean, this, my friends, is a main event life. You don't need a hype man on this. You don't need me to say anything about this. AJ Styles, multi-time TNA World Heavyweight Champion, multi-time, two-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion of the world. On top of that, he was also a Ring of Honor champion. And most importantly, the man that runs the place, the face that runs the place, and right now, one of the top dogs of SmackDown Live. You, Anthony Florio, you wanted this. You were saying about how SmackDown Live, you were waiting for me. We were like, we were going to be amped up about a month away. before Survivor Series when we were going to do the war. You know what? The war comes early. The war came early. It came about a month ahead. Now we're going to get into it. SmackDown Live's biggest star versus basically one of the original leaders of the Bullet Club, Finn Balor, the Demon, one of the best in New Japan Pro Wrestling, another IWGP darling, time junior heavyweight champion, tag team champion, and on top of that, he is the first ever Universal Champion in Monday Night Raw history. So this, my friend, is going to be fun. It's so fun that we even got Callie and Tiger on the show, and they're probably as amped up as I am right about now. So let's just say it, guys. This is going to be not only a fight of the night, this could be a fight of the year candidate, because whoever would have dreamt that this match was going to happen? I mean, two of the greatest guys in professional wrestling that combined has wrestling knowledge of almost 20 plus years combined with the championships that they have won. This is without a doubt one of the biggest matches in WWE history. Maybe bigger than Hogan and Warrior. Maybe bigger than Rock Cena. AJ Styles and Finn Balor is an IWC dream match. And we get it tomorrow night at Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. Now, it is a damn shame that it had to come to this. It's a darn shame that this fight had to happen under these circumstances. But let me tell you guys, this battle, this war, I mean, it's a dream fight. And it doesn't matter who wins or who loses. The real winners of this one is the WWE Universe. Anthony Florio, you win this fight. Dee Woodson, you win this fight. Michael Bullock will get to win this fight. Derek Ferrera will get to witness this greatness. And so will I. And when it's all said and done, I hope we're saying, my God, that was a damn good match. And we just witnessed an amazing battle. Whatever the case may be, whoever wins this, it doesn't matter. Now, going in, I'm going to say it. I don't know how to predict this. This is kind of tough because there is no storyline build. We didn't get anything to set this up. So there was nothing in the cards. Maybe I'll give it to Finn Balor because this is a Monday Night Raw thing, and maybe you give Raw the benefit of the doubt here. But it wouldn't just be any, like, there's no build, there's no nothing to the storyline. So for me, I'm going to say, okay, I'll give Balor the win. Honestly, my SmackDown energy, my SmackDown feeling is obviously pulling for AJ Styles. I'm not going to make no bones about it. I'm bleeding Team Blue all the way. I want AJ to win because I would love to stick it to you, Anthony Florio. Big time. But I got to be real honest. It is a Raw pay-per-view. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to give Finn Balor the win. But if AJ Styles wins, buddy, you better be ready because Team Blue, I am going to be going on a march if AJ wins tomorrow night. And it's going to reiterate why SmackDown Live is the real A show and not Monday Night Raw. If AJ wins, you know I'm going to have all the bragging rights on this one. Be prepared. I think Balor's going to win. This is one of those heart-to-heads. My heart's saying AJ, but my head is thinking Finn Balor. Dee Woodson, it's all yours, love.
Okay, I'm going to quote Edge here. This match totally reeks of awesomeness. Because I love both of these guys, especially Balor with, the demon form. But, this is going to be one of those matches that could possibly be, your fight of the night. Or co-fight of the night in this case, because we still have one more really good match coming up. I'm kind of with Fletch on this. I want to go with Styles, but my heart would love to see Styles win it. But at the same time, I would love to see Balor win it. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Balor on this one. But yeah, if Styles wins it, it's the same thing as it is with Bliss and James. I'm going to be happy, if he does. Just with Bliss, I won't exactly be on the best of moods if she wins, but I still think she'll win. But on this one, I'm going to go with Balor, even though there's still a real big chance that Styles could walk away with this, and then we have the awesomeness of Fletch getting to reign SmackDown Supreme on this. But then I know we may have Anthony doing the same thing if Balor wins. So this is going to be interesting to see what you two do with this and how you all go off on each other, whether your team color wins. So not much more I have to say about it. So Florio, I'm going to toss it over to you.
Wow. What a change in match quality from a Balor Wyatt bout we had already seen twice, that was being repeated for a third time with a terrible gimmick, to a long-awaited showdown of two former leaders of the Bullet Club. This went from being a potential laughingstock to a possible show stealer in a snap. Considering this is a Monday Night Raw pay-per-view, it is without a doubt my expectation that Balor goes over as Styles continues to look for a bounce back following his loss to Baron Corbin. It would be really cool if WWE found a way to get Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson involved in some manner. With all due respect to the illness facing Bray Wyatt in real life, it may turn out to be a victory for WWE if the Balor-Wyatt feud never gets consummated. The replacement of AJ Styles turns this into a possible 5-star classic match. Here's to hoping that this is just the beginning for these two, regardless of the fact that Styles works on SmackDown Live. With Survivor Series up next, this could set the table very, very nicely. Since AJ Styles is already more established, a win for Finn Balor would certainly shine him up as a certifiable main eventer. So I'm going with Finn Balor to win. Plus, I have read a dirt sheet that there is talks of Finn Balor possibly being the next challenger for Brock Lesnar and the Universal Championship. And the talk is they want to do that match at the Royal Rumble in January in Philadelphia. They do that. Ooh, Nelly. Royal Rumble just got hella interesting. That's all I can say on that. But read into it what you will. Take it with a grain of salt, like Derek says. But the talk is they want to have Finn Balor be the next challenger for Brock Lesnar and the Universal Championship, and they want to save that match for the Royal Rumble in Philadelphia in January. So pray to God that they do it, because that's another dream match right there. Balor and Lesnar, Universal title, Royal Rumble. Sign me up. That's all I can say. So I got Finn Balor. So with all that being said, let's move on to the main event of the evening. The originally scheduled match was the reunited Shield, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, in a 5-on-3 handicap tails, ladders, and chairs match against The Miz, the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Sheamus and Cesaro the Bar, the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, and the returning Kane. The originally scheduled match was the Shield versus the 5-man Team Miz. However, due to that same viral infection that has infected the WWE locker room, Roman Reigns has been pulled off the pay-per-view to be replaced by the one and only WWE Hall of Famer and Raw General Manager coming out of retirement, Kurt Angle. Whoa. Edie Woodson, what do you say about this? Kurt Angle coming out of retirement. First WWE match in 11 plus years.
Yeah, I'm really kind of surprised they're doing it. But also at the same time, our general manager for SmackDown is not real happy. And, I can kind of understand why Daniel Bryan is upset about this, because he has the same exact injury. He's not allowed to be in the ring or do anything, and here Kurt Angle is, getting to live the dream again that Daniel would love to live. But hey, WWE posted on the app earlier today, Rollins and Ambrose are kind of excited to get to team up with Angle. In fact, Ambrose said throw in a couple more guys on Team Miz because he thinks the three of them can take them all out. I'm going to go ahead and go with Angle, Rollins, and Ambrose to pull this off. I've heard the dirt sheets that they're split about 50-50 on who's going to win this, whether it's Team Miz or I guess you can call them Team Shield or Team Olympic Shield, I guess is what we'll call them. But I'm going to go with our Olympic Shield guys here because I know Ambrose himself is pretty much a wild card himself. You never know what you're going to get out of that boy. Rollins, not so much, but he's got the brains to figure out ways to get around a lot of different things that happen. We all know how Angle is, so we'll just have to wait and see what comes out of this. But in my opinion, I'm going to go ahead and go with our Olympic Shield here and as the winners. But yeah, this is going to be one humdinger of a match. So Florio, it's yours.
The inclusion of Angle does well to save the show last minute when you consider the intrigue of seeing him wrestle in a WWE ring at the age of 48, no less, for the first time since 2006. How that affects the storyline moving forward, however, will be most interesting. A good idea might be to escalate Angle into a feud with The Miz, which has been teased in recent months, while Miz was working opposite Kurt Angle's storyline son, Jason Jordan. Either way, the odds are now stacked even further against the babyfaces in this one, possibly giving WWE very little room to book them into anything but a loss. And though Roman Reigns is out of the match on Sunday, the story of the match was to be the Shield coming off as so strong that it is almost able to overcome the insurmountable odds that exist of them going up against not only a 5-man team, but one featuring monsters in Strowman and Kane. With Reigns sidelined, this is possibly an even cleaner finish. I honestly did not expect Kurt Angle to factor into this feud, and it makes me wonder whether the plan was to add him to what MF was reporting, an eventual Survivor Series 5-on-5 match, perhaps with his storyline son and Jason Jordan. There has to be a reason why WWE put Angle in this match as opposed to just adding Jason Jordan or even Matt Hardy. It should be interesting to see what goes down tomorrow night. With that being said, I am a tad bit concerned for what Angle will want to do in a TLC no-rules setting. He will surely want to impress. However, I am confident WWE and Triple H in particular will put a leash on him, as they should. well beyond doing moonsaults off a cage and flying around. Please understand this. Don't go into TLC expecting the world from him. That's unfair and selfish. Let Kurt enjoy this moment, and who knows, perhaps it is a test for a possible WrestleMania 34 feud. Maybe, maybe not. All I know is the result is the same. The same. The Shield minus Roman Reigns will win at TLC, and fans will get to witness the return of Kurt Angle. Rollins, Ambrose, Angle wins the match, and I think Kurt Angle is going to score the winning fall on The Miz. Nothing more to say. MF, Kurt Angle, returning to a WWE ring for the first time in over 11 years. Wow. Michael Bullock called me. Well, I knew this from Derek Ferrera's Facebook post, and then Michael Bullock hit me up a short time later, and we talked about it. How do you feel about it, MF? Kurt Angle returning in this match, replacing Roman.
I don't know. I'm a little concerned. I was really concerned with Shane McMahon. I'm concerned with Kurt Angle. I don't know. Well, I know why WWE did it. The logic is understandable. You got backed into a corner, no doubt about it. But do we really need Kurt Angle to be the savior in this one? I don't know. I just don't know about this move. The storyline going into it was interesting enough. I think it kind of lost a little bit of the punch when Kane came back, though. It kind of didn't make any sense for Kane to join, and now it doesn't make any sense for Kurt Angle to be in this fight. I think they would have been fine they would have kept it 4-on-3, but now to make it 5-on-3 in a TLC fight, I don't know. I think Raw kind of went a little overboard on this. This is kind of overkill here. But I do believe Angle, Rollins, and Ambrose will win the match. But I think Dee Dee Woodson brought up a great point. What does Daniel Bryan must feel right now? How ticked can he be about this? I don't know. Is it great to see Kurt Angle back in the ring? Absolutely. I'm not taking nothing away from him. But I don't know. This is one that really has me scratching my head the whole time. When I heard about it, I was stunned. I don't think I really had a time to really process it yet. And I still kind of feel like this is a mistake. At least for me, I still feel it is. I got really nothing more to say, so Anthony, let's just move on.
All right, overall expectations for TLC, and I'm gonna be real honest with you. I honestly had no hope for this show whatsoever if the card had stayed the same. If and I would have had the main event as the fight of the night, hands down. But now with the changes and everything else, that definitely really, really makes this event go from quite possibly the worst Monday Night Raw pay-per-view of the year to an even better show. And this is one show that you do not want to miss, my friends. You really don't want to miss this. This had the makings of maybe a 5 to 6 out of 10 before the changes. But with the changes, this just went to maybe 7 to 8 out of 10, if I'm going to be real honest. I very much like what I see here. I'm very interested and excited to see what Kurt Angle is going to do in his first WWE match in 11 years. That is going to be That is going to be a sight to see. I mean, can you imagine what what that crowd is going to be like in Minneapolis when you hear that theme music and he comes out? Oh, that the roof's going to come off that facility. Let's not kid ourselves. The roof's going to come off the Target Center. But um, but for me, this is looking like a 7 to 8 out of 10 for me. I mean, Balor and AJ, they're going to steal the show hands down. Um, when it comes to this card, like I said, Balor AJ's fight of the night, TLC second best fight, third best fight. I'm leaning towards maybe Kalisto and Enzo, or maybe Alexis and Alexa Bliss and Mickey James. Um, Cruiserweight tag match, I really have no desire to see, but that it should be an interesting fight nonetheless. And of course, Asuka with the debut. It's gonna be. I'm hoping for a banner night from Monday Night Raw, and I'm also hoping that Finn Balor beats AJ Styles and gives Raw the advantage going into Survivor Series, because we're going to get quite a few Raw versus SmackDown matches in Houston next month. So really nothing left for me to say. I'm leaning towards 7 to 8 out of 10 with these changes. It would have been 5 to 6 before. So nothing more to say. MF, your overall expectations for TLC tomorrow night?
7 out of 10. Definitely Balor versus AJ is the fight of the night. Hands down, that's the most highly anticipated fight of them all. I'm still not convinced about the 5-on-3. I think it would have been better if Roman was there. I think if it would have been a true Shield versus the 5, I would be a little more okay with that. I'm a little concerned about Kurt Angle. That's all I got to say about that. I think he'll do fine. I'm just a little concerned. Fights, I could say it's kind of a wash. I mean, they're kind of expected. I think the women's title fight is going to be better than Asuka and Emma. And the two cruiserweight fights, really nothing to speak of. I don't think it's... honestly, the card itself wasn't that deep or that great, but you definitely got a major jolt with AJ and Balor. I mean, that right there is an IWC dream fight, and the main event itself is going to be pretty good. Not great, but we'll wait and see what happens. So nothing more to say. Let's just move on to the next DD Woodson. For all expectation.
Well, for one, I don't know who you picked on that main event, Fletch.
I said Angle, Rollins, and Ambrose.
Okay. But I do kind of agree with you on that one. I am worried about Angle in this one. But then again, this is the man who did the Olympics with a broken freaking neck. But here he still has a broken freaking neck, and he's up in age trying to do this again. It may have worked the first time, may not work the second time. Definitely, like I said earlier, definitely the match of the night will be Balor and Styles. The 3-on-5, maybe Co, but definitely Balor and Styles as your fight of the night, and Asuka Emma is going to be one that's going to be really one everybody's going to want to see, is just to see the debut of her. Bliss and James will be a good match as well. But I'm going to go with Fletch on this, 7 out of 10. And I do agree with the way it was set up before. It probably would have been a little bit lower, but this is definitely going to be one of the better pay-per-views for Raw. So especially with the little taste of the Raw versus SmackDown we're getting tonight, and from what I understand, even one of the house shows they have going overseas right now, Triple H had to step in to replace somebody that they had pulled off the card, which I think was Kevin Owens, but that was for a completely different issue. So I think they're stretching to find people to replace these that are sick or having issues where they're having to go home for family issues or whatever. So, not much more I have to say about it. Like I said, 7 out of 10. Definitely Balor Styles alone and Asuka, are definitely your money makers of this this whole pay-per-view. So let's just wrap the bow on it.
That's exactly what we're going to do, Dee Woodson. So that's it. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in to this special edition of Ridiculously Raw, our TLC 2017 preview. Of course, we'll be back with you tomorrow night, immediately following Tables, Ladders, and Chairs here on for another special edition of Ridiculously Raw, where we'll have our recap of TLC. The three of us and Michael Bullock will be back. Michael Bullock, I can confirm, will be with us tomorrow night for that. And then Monday night, we'll sort out all the fallout on Ridiculously Raw. And then we can officially start the road to the Survivor Series. And also my Tony's take on 205 Live and Impact Wrestling. And then, of course, Tuesday night, we got the Cerebral Smack Talk with MF over on his channel, GraceFan95. We'll review SmackDown Live. And as part of Mikey's mindset, his final Lucha Underground recap, as he will recap the fourth and final installment of Ultima Lucha Trace. We had a little discussion about it during one of our behind-the-scenes chats, and MF's got a lot to say about it. Believe me, he does. Trust me, you're going to want to hear what MF has to say about that. And then Thursday night, we got college football Thursday. The headline game, of course, Penn State and Ohio State. That's the big game next week. And then, of course, NFL Friday as well. So that's it. So until tomorrow night for our TLC recap, it's your ridiculously over good brother Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, for the Twisted Angel Dee Woodson, and in spirit, the Phenom Michael Bullock and the Hardcore Pipe Bomb Falcon Striker 445 Derek Ferreira. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw the Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Sunday. Enjoy all the NFL action. Enjoy TLC. And until tomorrow night for our TLC recap, you've been watching this very special edition of Ridiculously Raw, our TLC 2017 preview right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. And remember, no matter what anyone tells you, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody that's been a part of this one, I'm Anthony Florio. So long.